On these next few slides, we're going to talk about balancing chemical equations. And you all know about the law of conservation of mass. We've talked about that since the beginning of the year practically. And so basically when we need to balance a chemical equation, it's because the law of conservation of mass tells us that matter is neither created nor is it destroyed. And so whatever you start with, you have to end with, basically. So what we need to do is we need to use coefficients, like we've spoken about, and you're going to, here, underneath the yield arrow, I am going to put, each element. So here we have the sodium, and here we have chlorine. And if you look at this, you see there's one sodium here, and there's one sodium on the product side, but there's two chlorines here, and there's only one over here. So something is going on, and we have to do something to make this balance. So this is sort of a form of bookkeeping that we do for the equations. On the reactant side, this side over here, we have one sodium, and we have two chlorines. On the product side over here, we have one of each. Now, being as the sodiums are already balanced, we'll go straight to the chlorines. We have two on the reactant side and only one on the product side. So in front of this, I'm going to put a coefficient 2, and let me write it over here. All right, so I'm going to put a coefficient 2 here. And then I'm going to come back over here and change my table. I have two sodiums now, and I have two chlorines. And so that's good. That balances our chlorines, but now our sodiums are off. And so I'm going to come here. That's easy because sodium's all by itself over here. So I'm just going to say I have two of them. Now I always check my work and make sure I've done this correctly. On my reactant side, I have two sodiums. Product side, two sodiums. Reactant side, I have two chlorines. On product side, two chlorines. I'm good. And this is just how to use the table to balance. And here we're using the H2 plus O2 yields H2O. And you can go through and look at this, and it's on your worksheet. And let's go balance couple. For number 23, I have this calcium bromide equation here, and I've already put in here the table so that I didn't have to take the time to do that. And I just went calcium, bromine, potassium, and oxygen, and then how many of each on either side. Now I'm going to look at this and I see, okay, calcium is balanced, bromine is not, potassium is not, oxygen is. So I think, let's see, I think maybe I'll balance the bromines first. So there's two on the reactant side here, so I'm going to put a 2 over here. And that's going to give me 2 potassiums and 2 bromines. Now I have 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 2 and 2, and 1 and 1. Looks like I'm balanced. And I might want to put 1s in here, but I'm not done until I've checked it. So here I have 1 calcium, 2 bromines, 2 bromines, 2 potassiums, and 1 oxygen, and 1 oxygen. It's done. Now let's look at the next one. We have sodium, gold, and nitrogen. So I have 1 sodium on the reactant side, and I have 3 sodiums on the product side. Well, nothing balances here. So let's go ahead and let's deal with sodium first. It's on top. And so I have 3 here, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a 3 over here. Now, actually, sodium is all by itself over here, so it's going to be very easy to fix. So let's go ahead now and do gold, Au. And we have 3 over here, we need 3 over here. Well, that's going to be easy to fix too because it's by itself. So nitrogen, the one that's not going to be the easiest to fix, is the one that we do last. And we have 2 here and we have 1 here, so I have to put a 2 here. And that gives me 2 times 3, 6 sodium now on this product side. And it gives me 2 nitrogen. 2 nitrogen. Okay, now my nitrogen's balance and my gold balances because I put a coefficient 3 there, but my sodiums don't, and that's okay because I'm just going to cross this out and put a 6 here. I'm not done until I've checked. 6 sodium on this side, 2 times 3 is 6 on this side. 3 gold, 3 gold. 2 nitrogen, and 2 nitrogen. We're done. Okay. Go on and watch the next part.